Welcome to episode 728 of today's Antidote, and we've been talking all week about discovering your gifts. No, we haven't. Yes, we have. Haven't we? Just developing your gifts. I knew it was one of those D words. Developing your gifts. We discovered them all the time, but now we're developing them. So today we're going to talk about discoveries of the week. Yes, another word. So we've got discoveries. Just stick with me. It's all coming back. It's all going to be good. I promise once Tom gets here, it's all going to make sense. All that and more on today's Antidote.
Stay tuned for today's Antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's Antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Tom, I got to tell you, I almost hung up on us and clicked on something else myself because it was so bungled. Sorry about that, folks. Just having one of those mornings. It is episode 728. We're discovering. No, we're not discovering. We are developing our gifts, and we are talking about discoveries of the week. That's where we are. Right, Tom?
I believe so. I mean, if you want to do something else, we could always do something else.
No, I want to stick to what we planned. As much as I seem like I don't.
Fair enough. How are you doing today other than that?
Wow. I thought I was doing well, but now I'm starting to question everything.
Sometimes it's good to question everything, You
might
find new answers.
Okay. All right.
You never know.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks. It's Friday.
It is Friday. Yes, I forgot about Friday. That. Yeah.
All right.
I had a little endorphin rush. I got up early this morning, was exercising. So
you exercised today?
I did.
Row, run. What was
the
your
rower is no longer mine.
Oh,
it did not make the transition.
Got it.
So I use kettlebells. I've been doing a kettlebell routine, a high intensity training kettlebell routine. I like it a lot because in about 30 minutes, I can be really sore and it gets my heart rate up a lot.
Cool.
If you look at my arms, you can see there's some serious definition. Oh, look at that. It doesn't work with the lighting. Darn. I'd show you my Ryan Gosling 6-pack abs, but, we're trying not to scare people.
It's hard to tell with the big baggy sweater and shirt on.
Amen.
There you have it. Fair enough. All right, everyone. Good morning and welcome to today's Antidote, our daily broadcast and podcast where each week we have a conversation around a topic. As Bob tried to share with you this morning, our topic this week is developing your gifts. And today, like we do every Friday, we are going to share our discoveries of the week. So as we go through our conversation, please feel free to share your thoughts and ideas, your discoveries on whatever social media you happen to be following us on, whether it is Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or
LinkedIn Live, baby.
Is that like one word? Is it
That's
3
all
words?
Smashed together, yes.
One word, all smashed together.
And if you go to LinkedInLiveBaby.com, you see something. I'm just saying. You've been there, right?
I have. I forgot that you had done that, which I think is funny.
You know how I love to buy my domains.
I know. So as we go through that conversation, again, please share your thoughts and ideas. At the end of the conversation, Bob and I will share, or it might be, discoveries of the week is a little bit different. Sometimes we share our discoveries in the middle of the conversation, and others, we share them at the end. At one point throughout the show, we will share our discovery of the week, talking about developing your gifts. And of course, if you have a discovery you'd like to share that is over and above the middle of the conversation, please feel free to share it as well. Because we know that it might be the one thing that someone out there needs as they try to figure out how to take their next steps. They figure out how to develop their gifts so that they can impact others. We welcome it and look forward to it. Before we dive into that conversation, though, each morning we share our celebrations of the day. Bob, what are you celebrating today?
Today is National Salesperson Day.
Really?
And we are all salespeople every day. I'm convinced of it. Whether you think we are.
Keep going.
I know you don't believe that we're offering our value, but that's what we're selling. We're selling our value in the marketplace of the world that we're in. And we sell it by how we come to a meeting. Do you have a good attitude? How we answer questions, how we listen to people, how we're empathetic, how all those things that go into it. But I think I didn't realize till probably 5-6 years ago that all through my career, I'm a salesperson. I'm selling the product that is Bob. And it's in a marketplace where there are lots of other Bobs, presumably, but there really aren't. There's only one me. And I know that you're going to have a different point of view, and I'm looking forward to this. So go for it.
Yeah, I don't want to be a salesperson. And I don't believe I am a salesperson. I believe I'm a sharing person.
Okay.
And that when I share my value, it has an impact on others. And often they might be looking for more of that. And so they come to me for more of the value that I have to share, that I can help them discover around what's real for them. I don't want to be a salesperson. I don't consider myself a salesperson.
Okay. Now, we're allowed to disagree, right?
Of course.
Okay, good.
I thought that for the longest time. I was a fundraiser and I thought, oh, we're all salespeople. I'm like, yeah, that's not me.
I'm moving further in your direction, but I still think there's a component of sales, like the way you wear, what you wear. If I came today and my hair was all ratty and I had a baseball cap on backwards or sideways and I look like I just rolled out of bed, I think I would be presenting myself in a different way, that someone watching this for the first time would think that, wow, I don't know if I can trust this guy. Or say I bungled the opening like I did today. I don't think I sold this program really well with the introduction.
Or you just did what was real for you in the moment.
Okay.
And show that we're not all perfect. No one's perfect. Nothing's perfect.
Okay.
We all do the best we can with what we have. And sometimes we don't get the results we desire, which we can't control.
Okay. I like that. That's good. It's good. I like a little healthy debate in the morning.
Was that a debate?
A little bit. And if you folks have a point of view on this, feel free to write in the comments. Love to hear what you have to say. Love to, you can pick my side and you can pick Tom's side. If you pick Tom's side, I won't spam you too much, once or twice. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'm open to debate. So, Tom, what do you celebrate today?
Okay. My celebration today is, I'm trying to think about that.
Oh, boy.
I know. It's one of those, this is one of my challenges.
We really need to change the program. Today we're going to go with Bob's celebration of the day.
No.
And Tom, if he has one.
No, I have one. I just have to think about which one as I share with you each time. I have to really get clear on which one is going to have, hopefully, the most value for others out there.
I don't worry about the value for others from it. I worry about what it is to me.
So I'm going to celebrate the fact that we worked on a workshop yesterday and that I did the best I could with where I was at in the moment. And I'm going to celebrate that.
Okay.
Were there things I might do differently? Yes. And there were things that I thought went well. Some didn't go as planned. And from all of those things, I have the opportunity to learn for the next time I do it.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good one. Very nice.
See, takes me a little bit sometimes. I get that.
So shall we pivot to talking about developing our gifts? Yes, I got it right. Finally, it only took 12 minutes.
Do you want to talk about that, or do you want to talk about what we discovered this week, talking about developing our gifts?
Well, I was going to move to that, but
sorry. Continue.
I was trying to pivot slowly.
Fair enough.
It's all good. So, discoveries of the week, if I may start.
Please do.
I think what I discovered, and I wasn't thinking about this, is that our gifts get developed and they're constantly being developed in different ways. There's never a static point. There's not a day. I remember, I think Wednesday, I said, there's not a day where you suddenly go, hey, I developed all my gifts. I've got it made. It's always in flux. And I saw this yesterday. I was leading a different workshop than the one you were doing. And I thought I had something figured out going into it. And as I was dealing with this group, I realized that I had miscalculated something and had to recalibrate in the moment, which is fine. It's part of what makes it fun, is that, you develop the muscle that allows you to figure out how to proceed with something. And I realized that I thought I had the gifts that were going to be the right fit for this organization. But as I got involved with them, those gifts had to shift slightly because of the people involved. And I think that's the thing, that as we develop our gifts, we're dealing with other people, and other people change, and we change, and situations change. So it's constantly in flux. It's sort of like the astronauts when they're on the spaceship, and you look at them and they're always in motion. The only way they're not moving is when they're strapped to something. But otherwise, that they put the pen, they let go of the pen, and the pen spins around in the spaceship for however long. Or if you saw Apollo 13, and they have as it's getting colder and colder, they have the cassette player, and it's just sort of spinning around and playing music and playing slower and slower and slower. I kind of think that's how it is here. We're constantly moving in some direction, like being in space where it's very random seeming. I think that's kind of how it is in some ways regarding our gifts. It could be the gift I think I'm going to use in this program might not be the gift that is required at a certain moment. And it might be a situation where I don't have the gift that's needed, or maybe I do and I never realized that I had that gift. And I think that's what makes it both exciting for the extroverts and troubling for the introverts, because you're dealing with people and situations. And, I think for an introvert that can be stressful, because you're talking about, I don't know exactly what I'm doing. For the extroverts, like, yeah, well, bring it on. I'll figure it out. And that's a sweeping generalization that I openly admit to.
Fair enough. I won't say that it's a judgment of those type of people, because describing them.
I'm not judging them. I'm just saying I think they see it differently, and I think you can see a social setting differently, right? You have the people that it's the holiday season. You have people who can't wait to go to the holiday party, and then you have the people who are like, "Oh, I hate December. Why do we have this party every year? I'm going to go there. I'm going to stand in the corner for 45 minutes. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I got to dress up." Those are two. It just is. And by the way, if you've got a holiday party and you want a lovely guest, feel free to invite me. If you're in the Baltimore, Washington area, my calendar's still got some open dates.
There you go. Well, I think it's interesting, as you were talking, I got thinking about, one of the things I was thinking about this week of, I think that there is intentional developing of your gifts, and I think there's almost unintentional.
Oh,
because I believe, sort of like, I think you said this at the start, was that we're always developing our gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we intentionally do it, and sometimes it happens to us unintentionally. Every interaction we have a chance to be impacted by what's real for someone else. And that, I think, has an impact. Different types of impact on what's real for us, and yet still an impact. And then I think there's the intentional, I feel like I have a skill or a gift and that I want to further develop it. And so I go and actively seek opportunities to develop it. Whether it's I go out and, we talked about this earlier this week. On Wednesday, we talked about how to do it. And I offered that getting a mentor or a coach or someone like that was someone who could help further develop it. The challenge is, as we talked about yesterday, is there are so many people out there who could serve in that role that it's sometimes hard to figure out which one is going to have the most impact on what you're trying, on how you develop your gifts. And so Often I think we only think about the intentional developing of the gifts and miss some real opportunities from the unintentional. Although I find that we figure that out later. That, it again goes back to my saying of, do something today. Well, sometimes you intentionally do things and sometimes things happen that could have a significant impact on where you're at later down the road. And maybe there's an opportunity that if we consider that we are always developing our gifts, we may be able to leverage those or understand those unintentional ones more often. And I wonder if that's because oftentimes we spend too much time judging what has happened rather than maybe taking the opportunity to learn from what just happened. And again, in all instances, those intentional and unintentional. And that if we are actively taking time to measure, to learn from what just happened, then we might be able to leverage those newly developed gifts differently.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
What do you like about it?
Well, I like the fact that it's the beauty of all this to me, and what makes it fun and exciting in developing gifts is we're always working to improve them, or they're improving around us. And I don't like things that are set in stone. As much as I like to control everything, I don't like when it's all really clear. Imagine how boring it would be if you knew exactly how I was going to be every single day. Every morning, what do you ask me? Hey, how are you doing? And you get a read on me before the program starts every single day. And you've done this now 700 some odd times. You know, by the very subtle, how I say, oh, I'm fine, or it's good morning, or whatever, you know exactly where I am. It's
I have
one
a
of
sense. I don't know that I know exactly.
You have a sense, and you've developed that gift of reading me, which is not a gift that's going to work with anyone else. Reading me is different than reading your wife and your children and your friends and the person who delivers the Amazon package. And I think that's part of what makes this fun and also fraught with potential. We make assumptions, or you read me a certain way every day, and the next person who's tall that you run into, you're like, oh, he must be like Bob because he's tall. And you read him the same way, and it's like, ooh, that was a miscalculation. I think that's part of in developing our gifts, we develop them in different ways. Different people do it differently. There's no textbook. It's not like you could say, hey, in 2023, I want to be the funniest guy in the world. Okay, here's the handbook. Here are the 82 things you have to do to be a really funny guy in 2023. Well, that's not going to work. I can tell you, I can be funny and I can say the same line in a different group and they don't respond to it as if it's funny. And that's the human interaction part of this. And as we're developing our gifts, it's interacting, those gifts interact with other people. And I think that makes it the challenge that it is at times. And I also like what you're saying with regards to just how we do that. I think your point and my point taken together are really powerful.
I would agree. I think that there's opportunity. And you had said something earlier that I was like, interesting. And now I can't remember what it was. Because I think that there's lots of opportunities to develop our gifts, and yet we don't often leverage them or even understand them. And I think that there's a feeling.
Recognize them. I don't think we even recognize our gifts, right?
Certainly.
Imagine if I said to you, Tom, could you do me a favor this weekend? I want you to write an inventory of all your gifts. I've never done that. And if I did that, well, wait, Tom, do you want me, Bob, do you want me to give you a list of all my gifts I use when I'm interacting with you, or when I'm interacting on the lacrosse field, or when I'm dealing with my wife, or when I'm dealing with my children, or when I'm alone, or when I'm leading a workshop, those gifts are different, right?
Yes. Well, they might be similar. Depends.
Similar, but there are gifts that I use. I try to be a little more funny with you on this program than I am with you in real life.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I think because there's situations.
And here's an interesting thing that I got thinking about just in the moment.
Okay.
Is that, and I don't know how to share this. They only become gifts when someone receives them. Is that fair?
Yes, I agree.
And so often, as you were discussing, for me to try to list all the gifts I have, I'm not sure I could do that. Because it would be me just listing a bunch of things that, unless someone receives it, is it really a gift?
So my list of gifts about you would be more interesting than your list of gifts that you have.
Well, I think it's because I don't know that it's a gift until someone else receives it. So I
like that. I agree with you.
That for others to share what value they have gained from us, what gift have they received from us, is really the testament of what our gifts are. Because I guess if no one ever receives it, now maybe we haven't shared it, or we haven't developed it to a point that we can share it in a way that someone else can gain value from it. And yet I think that's why we have so many gifts that we don't even know, because there are people out there who have benefited from something that we don't necessarily consider a gift, and yet they have found great value in it. Right. And that allows them to be impacted and figure out to move forward. Again, it's like all those people who have been impacted by what we do, and never come back and share that with us. So we don't really know that something we did is truly a gift that we have because someone else received it and found value in it.
Right.
And I think that's a powerful message for us to think about, is that the more we share, and again, intentionally, unintentionally, the more people can be impacted, which means they are receiving of the gifts that we have. It's almost like the more we show up in the world, the more gifts the world receives from us.
I like that.
That makes
Tom,
sense?
I'm going to jump in. My sister Beth says this morning she is, there it goes. What? There it is. Good morning, Bob and Tom. Enjoy your day and weekend, which means I need to do my once in a while annoyance for my nephew, Adam. Adam, get up. Adam, get up. You're going to be late for school. And also, Adam, just between you and me, Lamar Jackson is not going to be the MVP this year, nor are the Ravens going to the Super Bowl. You heard it here first.
You know that for a fact?
We have a little bet going.
I didn't ask you about the bet. I said, you know that statement those two statements for a fact?
I'm pretty close. It's one of my gifts is being able to assess quarterbacks, apparently.
Okay. And is it still possible?
Oh, Adam, you're gonna like Tom. Wake up. You definitely will enjoy this discussion.
Is it still possible?
It is possible. Very remote, but possible. More likely the Ravens win the Super Bowl than Lamar Jackson be the MVP.
Although if the Ravens came back and won the Super Bowl and he comes back and has this huge run for the last few games and through the playoffs, you never know.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
You're welcome, Adam.
Enjoy this.
You're welcome for me.
I was going to say.
Helping you out a little bit there.
Next time I talk to him, I'd be like, I really like that Tom guy.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you, Beth, for a Bills fan.
Thank you, Beth, and good morning to you as well. And I hope that you have an amazing weekend and that you have an opportunity to go out there and impact others, which I know you will as long as you get out and get connected with others. And it's a great season for that. And we're going to talk about that next week, sharing your gifts.
Yes.
That'll be.
And I think there's a day when there might be a video of me playing guitar.
Maybe, huh?
I had a little brainstorm this morning as I was getting up and doing my exercises. I got a little something coming along. I think I've changed some words to a song to make them more applicable.
Ah, fascinating.
It'd be a little fun.
Beth says Adam is up, and she always does.
Okay, there you
You're
go.
very welcome, Beth.
Very nice, very nice.
All right, everyone.
Yeah.
As we wrap this show up, please feel free to share any discoveries of the week that you have in the comments. And you can also, especially if you're listening to the podcast, you can share them inside our Ring of Renegades Facebook group or our Renegade Success Network for Leaders group on LinkedIn. Because we know that there will be an opportunity for you to share your value that someone might say, oh my gosh, that's the best gift I've ever received. Wouldn't that be great? And while you're in there sharing your value, who knows? You might find that gift that you've been searching for as well. There will be a marker, so you can go right in, look for the Discoveries of the Week marker, post, and then you can share right underneath that. Because we know that there are people desperately looking for the gifts that each of us have to offer. And if we show up and start sharing our value, people will be very grateful that they've received the gift that you've shared. So we look forward to seeing you inside either of those groups. If not, we'll see you Monday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern time for our next episode of Today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you and have a great weekend.
It's not worth it today?
I wasn't going to go there.
Well, I figured, which is why I figured I would bring it back in.
I take feedback well.
That's just a comment. I'm not sure it was feedback.
It's all good.
All right, everybody. Go out and make it a great day. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening to Today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.